Finalizing Crusader here, and welcome to part 5. So this video is all about replacing the skirt inside the combine and getting ready to put the engine in. And of course now rain has stopped play. It I wanted to get the engine in and get it in the shed, but it ain't happened. And here we are today, Saturday. It's blooming pissing it down. But anyway, we'll get back to it as soon as you can see. Anyway, sit back and enjoy. Right, so I'm sitting in where the engine bay, where the engine should be. And that's facing the gearbox, look. Bit of a squeeze in here, now I've got the wheel back on. But anyway, what we're up to is okay, so the skirt in there, look, behind the row of bolts, you can just see it's just sticking up. Need to get that out and replace it, because that's the skirt that rubs on the bottom of the corn pan. And just bear with me. It's a bit of a squeeze, right? As you can see, that end, look, it's chewed away, and so is that end. Plus, when I get hold of it, it's really hard. So you can see the skirts down the side. Look, one down that side and one down that side, and then we have the same skirt on the side of the corn pan, which I've still got to fix. But anyway, we'll see if these will come out okay. Get that one out and I'll make a new one and get it replaced. And with a bit of luck, that'll all be good. So I'm just going to try that. Yeah. If I can set this up. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Turning, but I have a funny feeling they're not captive. I think they're nuts and bolts, which is going to be a big problem. Yeah, going round and round because I can't get my fingers in behind it. There's a shaft in the back of that. It's your rocker shaft to work the drum backwards and forwards. And I was afraid they might be nuts and bolts. I've got a nut and bolt there. I don't know whether that is supporting the angle. I wonder if it is. Because if I was to take them nuts and bolts out, probably the whole thing would come out. probably ought to go and have a look in the book and just see if that bit's separate. It looks like it's an angle. But it's welded in. Yeah, so that's holding the fan on, the fan cover, because the angle iron's actually welded on the ends. Yes, that don't come off. Okay, so we're in trouble straight away then. I'll have to go outside and see if I can see the nut looking uphill. Right, so I'll let you go and see what I can sort out. Okay, so I've just undone the bolts so I can remove this diagonal to allow me space to get in there. I just put it right over there out the way. Now I can get in here with ease. Yeah, that's a lot better. I can just squeeze in here and reach this. Now I put a screwdriver in there, look, just to hold the rocker arm for the bottom of the drum, so as it holds, give me space here, look, just so as I can get my blooming fingers in the back there, and I can just feel the nuts there. Just feel the nuts there. The problem is if I drop them in the bottom, it's in the bottom of the fan, so they will have to be gotten out, which will be quite difficult. So I'm going to keep a careful eye on them, but I can get a spanner on them now, albeit it'll only be an open-ended. So I'll crack on and try and get one or two of these out. So you can see it's a bit tight in here. Especially getting in with all the wheels on. I should have got in while the wheel was off really, but anyway, I'm in here and I've, like I say, I just took this angle iron bar out which fits in there, so I've just took that out, put it to one side, then it's easy for me to get in here to get at these blooming bolts. So I'll crack on with the bolts and get on them. Okay, so I've done a little trick here. I put the magnet on the spanner and it's just stopped my nut and my washer from falling off into the bottom, and it's done me proud. It's a strong magnet, that one is, like, but even, you know, it's good. So just thought I'd show you that. Just little things that you learn as you go along. Okay, so that's got all the nuts and bolts out, but I have dropped one spring washer that's gone in the bottom, so I'll have to see if I can fish that out with a magnet. But there you go. And that's the last bolt. The nut is there. Like I say, the spring washer's gone in the bottom, so let's see if I can find it. But that's the fending part. So as I get no struck, I mean, it looks all good there, but as you can see, she's a bit buggered at the ends. I think Mrs. Mouse has been in there and having a nag at it, look. Especially that one, although it might have caught sort of V in that one. It's probably where the corn panels are going up and down or something. But anyway, it wants replacing, and and I'm going to see if I can do some sort of captive nut on the bottom of these, back of these, you know, with a spring clip over the top, just to hold the nut, because they're going to be difficult to I suppose I could get a pair of long nose pliers in there when your new skirt's in, but the trouble is the skirt, you're fighting the skirt, it's bent over, so you're fighting the skirt all the time. But you can see the shaft now, look. I don't know whether you can or not, but the shaft is there, look. There you go. See the shaft in there, it's a rocker shaft. Of course, and in the corners, it's very difficult to get your hand because of the rocker arm. Just making his drum go backwards and forwards. But anyway, that's got the bit out, so we'll get out and get in the workshop and make a new one. So it's got the little retainer cleaned up and painted. We'll just give it its top coat, and I'll just leave that to dry now, and then flip them over and do the other side. So I've just cut my skirt out and put the holes in it. Just popped it in the bender, just to put a little bit of a crease in it to give it some sort of creates that line and gives it like a bit of a kink straight away, because it's a tall order for a thin bit of 2mm tin to try and bend that round. So that will have that'll crease up a lot better now. It's got, you know, so we'll try that and see how we get on. Okay then, so that's got the new skirt in. It's a bit more supple than the one that was in there, so hopefully that will squish down nicely. So all that remains then is to put this angle iron bar back in, which has got to go in there. That, and that sits in there like that. So we'll get that bolted back in, and then we can put the engine in. But while I'm here, I will do that grease nipple while it's easy to get at, and that one feeds the back bearing. So where does it go in? It goes inside the clutch there, that's right, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll give that a squirt as well. Bit of oil on the pivots. Everything here while it's easy to get at. Okay, let's catch you on the next. So that's it then. The diagonal bar's back in, and the skirt is on. So, as far as I'm aware, that's all ready for the engine. So that's my next job. Catch you on the next. So we've pretty much got the engine built up now. We've got the fan guard all on, the fan, and the new water pump. We've got the dynamo on and the belt, albeit it probably needs a new one, but it'll do to run it for a minute. And we're pretty much all sorted. I've got the drive plate on, and follower's been torqued up and the like. So I'll just put the bungs on the appropriate places, look, so when I pick it up nothing can go astray. I've got a little bung in the end of that one. So it's all sealed up, so get any debris off the chains when I pick them up, it's not going to hurt. Now I've got the solenoid starter on here, which I will use for now because we know it's a good one, but it should have a lever type starter like on the Fordson Major, and I've got two here on the bench because they're a bit on the slow side. So we'll leave this one on because it's going to have to drive the drum as it starts, because the belts are shrunk and they're that bloody tight. I've actually got the combine in gear holding the pressure on the belt, so when I take it off, hopefully, you know, it just gives us a little bit of slack. But if it does drive the drum, with the drum not being run for a long while, it could be a bugger to start, because there's going to be that much pressure on the starter motor to try and turn it all over. So that remains to be seen. If that is the case, I've got to try and slip the bloody drum, the drive belt off. But that all remains to be seen. It may be okay, it may not. So that's all ready for in. And as you've seen, we've got the skirting in, so that's all good. So pretty much, providing it's fine tomorrow, it'll be in. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. So I've got the wheel off again this morning. The sprocket and hub carrier all off. And now we're taking the hub right out. Just 3 bolts on the back. Two bolts there, look, that we've just undone. And that'll just pull off. There is a big nut that goes on that thread there, which goes onto your brake linkage, but that was taken off first time round. But when we finally assemble, that nut will go back on. So yeah, we're just taking this last one out, and when this one's out, I'll be able to get the hub out. Okay, so we've got all the bolts out, and now we're going to slide the hub out. So there she is. Glorious sunny day today. A bit windy out and about, but and there's your gateway into the engine bay. And there's your sprocket shaft, look, for your drive chain, which feeds the hub. So that's all good. So I'm just going to put a bit of grease on the splines and on the spigot, and pretty much all ready to go. Engine's all assembled, so we'll go nip off now and fetch it in and have a go at putting it in. Another little job we've got to do in here before the engine goes in, which I've just remembered about, and that's right in the back there on that shaft look. You can just about make out the threads which is holding the bearing in. That collar, which I'll show you in a minute, was loose and wiggling about on the end of this shaft look. And the drive plate was all in bits. Now I must have scrapped it because I was looking for it so I could show you, but the centre in the drive plate, the rivets had all come out, and it was only hanging on by one, and the plate was slotted right out. We'll have another look, see if I can find it, but the plate was slotted right out, a hell of a mess. And consequently it's put that groove in the shaft. Now the collar's here, there's the screw collar, look. I'll just take it out of the vise. Now on the other side of that, look, you can see where it was chittering on the so it's salvageable. So I'm going to I've got to make a spanner. I'm not making a spanner that fits in them holes. I'm going to weld a big noggin there and a big noggin on this side, and then I've got this sleeve which goes over the shaft. Just had it in a lathe and just bored the seam out of it, and that slides on the shaft of treat. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to castellate this, so when I've welded my noggin on, you know, it slips over the noggin, and I'll square it all up, and then stick a handle on this end so I can tighten it up. And that's my take on that. So that's what I'm at the minute. So as soon as I get that organised and you know, the spanner done, I'll bring you back. Right, so I've welded my noggins on the nut. There's the nut, look, with the threads inside. And I welded, just built a bit of weld up, make some noggins and squared them off. And then I got a bit of pipe which I bored out just to get rid of the seam inside the pipe because it was tight. But now that just slides on the shaft. And what I did, look, I just notched it out. Just rough and ready, look, just to do a job. So what I'll do now is we'll, as long as that still fits on the shaft, which it does, I've got the nut, look, shove it right at yon end. Can't quite start that with my fingers, but then I can't hold it square, so we'll just right, so we've got something going on there. I can't quite get it to start. Right. Now the start on the nut looks good, but to see that right in there, it's quite difficult. Right, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Okay, so it's right up tight, and in order to lock everything off, I managed to put that pair of mole grips in there, and got the jaw so it sat in one of them balance holes, and so it wouldn't slip, because I got one on the other side, look, and it just kept slipping. You can see the rust mark on the pulley. So I brought another pair out and put it on this side and put the jaw in that hole so it's got a better grip, and when it finally took up the thing, now I can press on this as hard as you like now, and that's really got it. So yeah, it's another good job done. And there she is right in the back there, look. I'll just pull everything off, and there you have it, look. So a little old spanner, just for an hour messing about, just making a few bits up. It has done a good job, and I shall hang it on the wall with all the other obscure things I have, and I've got it for another day. Hopefully I ain't got to do it, but you never know. But if I do, I've got the tools to do it with. So I think I'm finally there. I've said this before, and then I think of something else, but I think we're there this time. So I'm now going to go fetch the engine. I'm pretty sure I covered it all this time. So yeah, I'll nip and fetch the engine, and we'll have a look at putting it in, because it's going to talk about rain again this evening. So it'd be nice to get it in and get it shoved back under the shed, so I can work on it tomorrow if it is wet. So yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah, in that bottom.
I wonder why that is.
Breathing for some reason.
Well, anyway, it's stuck there, so when it slackens off, we can get it away, like, can't we?
Yeah. Slacken off.
Yeah. Let's pull it off out of the way, and then
yeah.
I'll deal with it. I mean, I've got it, you know, I'll struggle to get that on my own.
Yeah.
But now I've got it there, I mean, I can jack it and I can do all sorts of things, right?
Yeah, so where do they sit?
I don't really. I thought they sat in the angle
Yeah.
on, but they don't. I
Yeah,
mean, that would have been ideal if
must
they.
be the bolts holding it.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, because you can sit in there and slide.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, but it doesn't, does it?
No.
You know, if anything, it's got to come higher to get in there, like, you know. Okay. An explanation for this. Yep, the rain's coming down, so it stopped play, and we're halfway in. I've just got to put the roller bar under the back end so I can pick the front up and just roll it in. So I've just covered everything up because it's just too much now. We've had problems with the forklift, with it three times we bled it all out, new filters, blew the lines out, did the sediment traps, did the lift pump, and it still seems to be making air somewhere. It'll run for about 10 minutes and then stop. So that's another job in the pipeline. So, but I mean, we've got that to that point, which is good enough for me to, you know, manhandle it in the rest of the way. It's just the blooming rain now. It's just stopped it. A bit more done to the shed as well, but anyway. So that's about it.